3 ways to start investing as a beginner. So you've probably seen what's happening in the economy right now. I mean, inflation is going down. Finally, it's not yet at the proper what we expect it to be. I think they're targeting 2.2%, but right now I think it's at 2.4, 2.6, something like that. And then what else is happening is that the housing market is actually starting to heat up. More people are starting to apply for refinance. More people are starting to apply for HELOCs in their home to pull that money out to go and make more investments, do home remodeling. Lots of stuff are going on. However, what you're probably wondering right now is, what is the stock market going to do, right? What is the real estate market as a whole going to do so I can start investing myself? Is now the time to start buying? By the end of this, I'm going to tell you all the answers to those questions, 3 ways that you can get started right now. And I will tell you, if you haven't started investing yet, this is the time to start investing, because there's a saying that goes, there are 2 times to start investing. One is like 20 years ago, right? 2004, 2008, 2010, even in 1999, those would have been great times to start investing. The second best time, because we can't go back in the past, the second best time is right now. Right? So if you haven't started investing yet, today is the day to start investing. And I'm going to actually tell you how to do that. So the first way that you're going to start investing is just take a part of your paycheck and you're going to start putting that in ETFs. Now, if you don't know what ETFs are, I have another video on my page that breaks down exactly what an ETF is. It will tell you everything that you need to know. However, if you take a portion of your paycheck, let me explain this. If you take just $500 over the next 30 years at a 10% interest rate, you know what that gets up to? Millions of dollars, $1.2, $3 million, depending on, 30 years, 40 years, if you keep it in there. And I can actually show you ETFs that return to you more than 10%, that beat the stock market over the course of the last 15 years, 10 years. There's one ETF which I love, and I'll give it to you here just because we're on video. The CGP over the last 15 or maybe it's 10 years has given up to 18% every year. 18%. Now remember, the average stock market is supposed to give you 10%. But if I'm telling you something that has been around for more than 2 decades, returning investors more than 15%, 14, 15, 16%, 18% every year, that's something to pay attention to. So you're going to want to go and check that out. So the first thing is to take a portion of your paycheck every month and you're going to just put that into investing. Now you're going to put that into an ETF, something like VGT, especially if you're on the younger side, or VOO, that tracks the entire S&P 500. You're going to want to automate that. You don't look at that. You're going to look at your entire paycheck and you're just going to start investing. Now, if you don't have $500, I'm going to tell you, I started investing with just $50. Not $50 out of my paycheck. I mean, I had an extra $50 and that's what I put into the market. And then over time, I started to see, oh wow, that $50 went up to, $52. Imagine if I had $50,000, that would now be $52,000, right? And that's why I started to get into the mindset of investing. But if you don't start with the little bit that you have, then you won't ever get to see the full results, which is why you have to start now. Take a little bit and start, and then over the course of a decade, now you're going to start to see in 40 years, I'll have this amount. Well, can I get there in 10 years? Can I get there in 7 years? And then you're going to start to see the game of investing a little bit differently. That's the first one. The second way that you should start investing as a beginner, right now, I will tell you, if you're going to start to ask people questions and start learning. And this is a very important part of investing. Now, you started your investing journey by actually putting something into the stock market. Remember, there's 3 ways that you can invest. There's business, there's real estate, and there's investing, which is the stock market and other markets like the money market, mutual fund, etc. But after you start one of the ways, then the next best thing that you can do, I'm telling you right now, is that you're going to start to network with people who already have a lot of money, who have been investing for years. And I will tell you where to find these people. One, you can find them right here on my channel. Subscribe, make sure that you're locked in and you're meeting people in the comments section of these types of videos. And then the second way is that you're going to go to Facebook group. Facebook group is one of the most untapped markets for finding people who have been doing this for decades. Now, Discord is new. Some of you may know Discord, some of you may know Telegram. That's fine. However, I'm going to tell you why I prefer Facebook groups. Facebook groups tend to have people who have been doing this for 2 decades, 3 decades, a very, very, very long time. And so when you go and meet these people, what you're finding is that the demographic of Facebook groups is people in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s. These people own apartment buildings, right? They own plazas, they own commercial units, they own 220 units, 200 units, right? 500 units, some of them. I've met people that do that. One of my partners in Atlanta They own neighborhoods, right? And that's how we connected. We actually approached them about one of their properties, got to find out about them. Turns out they own entire neighborhoods, right? Like an entire street is just them. And they just rent out to people, but they own the street. That's amazing, right? But you get to meet these type of people on Facebook because people like those, they're in their 60s, they're in their 70s, they're not on Discord, they're in those Facebook groups. So you're going to have to try and learn as much as possible. Consume podcasts about investing. YouTube, yes, is good, but you're going to want to read books about investing, right? One of my favorite books, you can start off with Rich Dad Poor Dad. You should also read Think and Grow Rich. But then you should also look into Richest Man from Babylon. You can look for The Millionaire Next Door. You can look for The Simple Path to Investing. And there's so many other examples. However, you're going to want to start learning about investing and how to make more money. And the third thing that you can do as a beginner, and this is perhaps the most important thing that you can do as a beginner, you are going to need a second source of income. I know if we're living in a generation where, people want to argue, well, I shouldn't have to find a second job and I shouldn't have to do that because I should be able to survive on one income. Great. Yes, you should be. But that's not the world that we live in right now. I study economics and I can see that the cost of living is going like this while wages are doing this. They're not moving. And so if you want to get ahead and retire before 60, you want to shrink that down to maybe 40 or even 30 or even 25, you are going to have to find some other platform where you can invest more money, because the more that you can invest, the sooner that you can retire. So what do I mean by that? There are tons of ways that you can make money outside of a job. You'd work from 9 until 5. From 5 until 9, you're working on your second job, your second side hustle. You can cut hair. You can wash cars. You can start an Airbnb. You can start renting cars to people, right? You can start an online store. You can start doing nails. Anything that you can do to earn more money so that you can put that into investing. I'm telling you, that is one of the best methods that you can do to get rich very fast. Now, if this video helped you, I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button because it's really helping me out. And I want you to let me know if you are going to take advantage of what I just said. If you are, I want you to comment the word invest, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for always tuning in.